This is Black Views, bringing you the Black News. And today I want to talk about what's been going on lately with the Democratic Party. Notice lately that Obama got on national television and, he felt like he wanted to tell black people or black men how they should vote, what they should vote on, and how disappointed he is. Why is it that he only wants to tell us who we should vote for? He's not even considered a foundational black American. He is a tether and he is an anchor baby. And he has come to America to mislead black people in the black community. We couldn't get enough of Obama. In fact, I voted for Obama. His first campaign, I voted for Obama because I thought, yeah, okay, change. He talked a good game, man, and I think that's where a lot of this resentment comes from because he kind of fooled us, right? He came into the situation making us feel that there were going to actually be some changes. A black man would be in power. A black man would be first, and he would be able to put things to make things somewhat easier for black people. And when I say somewhat easier, you see how you see foreigners are today. When I say foreigners, I am talking about the illegals that are here today that seem to be getting all kind of preference, seem to be getting all type of priority. That's what we thought black people should have got, especially for the youth. More programs for training, home ec for females, for the ladies. But what we got was more LGBTQ, more abortion. That's what we got with Obama. And that was the first time we got a stern talking to about how we should carry ourselves as black men. But once again, he has nothing to say to anyone else of any other group, gender, or whatever. It's just black men. And that's how it always is. And it's almost as if he thinks he's doing black women a favor. But I don't see how he's doing black women a favor because he doesn't do anything for black women. Which brings us to now, just like Kamala. She's going to say a lot of things about black women, but there's no policy in there for you. There's nothing there for you. It's all symbolism. It's all sister girl. And then she's not even talking to the regular black woman. She's talking to the Boule woman. She's talking to the AKA. She's talking to the Divine Nine. That's who she speaks to because those are the ones that, and not even all of them, they're just in a group wanting to be part of something, but not even all of them are getting the benefits of this. This black Indian person that wants to be black. I mean, they're not even going to get a proper vetting to. So it's all a sham. Because at the end of the day, the Democratic Party is there to break up black families. And it's been this way for some time. When we go all the way back to Me Too and even when Black Lives Matter, and you start to go in there and you start to look into their literature and you start to see, what exactly do they stand for, you start to see a lot of LGBTQ. And this is all funded by the Democratic Party. That's where the money is, LGBTQ and abortions. So if you want to be a shill and you want to get on YouTube and if all I wanted to do was talk about women's rights and give them a reason to feel good about having abortions, then my channel will prosper. My channel will have so many views. Someone will reach out to me so that I may speak on talking points because I have so many followers. And so that's how it works. So if you don't have a problem with selling your soul and selling people out, then yes, you can get on the internet and just talk about any goddamn thing and have the views, and you'll get pushed up even by YouTube. So let's think about really what exactly does the Democratic Party have for black people. You want to vote this election. You want to go into the booth. You want to be confident about what you're going to vote about. But what exactly are you voting about, and what exactly are you voting for? So let's look at the difference here. You have a lot of black people that's going to vote for symbolism. Okay, they're going to vote for just the fact that it's just a woman, a black woman, and she's AKA, and that's it. They're just going to vote for that, and they're going to say that she has a right to move up. Like that's their mentality. Like just she's oh yeah, black woman became president. Okay, that's all their mentality is. And then you have some black people that are going to vote for policies. They're going to vote for things that are going to hopefully make their lives easier. And they're going to vote for policies that are going to help neighborhoods, help families, and help the environment grow. Period. Just people getting opportunities to live properly and to live a decent life. And where those that don't know, they can get training on how to be better at it. Like there should be programs for men, just for men, to get men on their feet, to get men good jobs so that they can be better fathers or better family men. So they can take care of their children. There should be programs to try to resolve issues that black men have so that they can be responsible, so that they can grow. That's what programs should do. So any kind of program that they have, whether it be child support, any kind of problem that they have, whether it be child support, whatever it be, there should be a program to assist so that black man can live a prosperous life. Those are the things that we are looking for as a people. Programs. We're looking for reparations. We're looking for progression for black people. We ain't talking about nobody else because there's a lot of money. Because Latinas talk about Latinas, white people talk about white people, and so guess what? Black people going to talk about foundational black people. And I leave a distinguish. I put a distinguish of the two of black people, the American black, which are the foundational black Americans, who are the descendants of American slaves in America. And then you have black people that came here from somewhere else. And they have a right to live also as well. But they can file their claim with their homelands. So when we look at the Democratic Party, I've already told you pretty much. Policies. What are these policies? Abortions. The policies LGBTQ and immigration. And then they came out with something that they're going to say that Kamala came up with for black men, but when you read close in the literature, it's for everyone. Black men and others. So basically what they did was they just took a program that already exists and they're going to say black people and others. So it's the same program essentially that we're not going to be able to take advantage of. Like affirmative action. Okay? That somehow went to all the foreigners that came here so that they can get a leg up. And then they're all told to say that black people are lazy so that they don't have any conscience as to what they did. They'll just simply say black people are lazy and they didn't want to do it anyway. Because that's America. Full of liars and opportunists. It's just like, black people have a whole different way of thinking when it comes to justice and making America great again. And all these different type of rhetoric words that you hear. When you talk about make America great again, to black people, America was never great. to black people, because we always have been fighting for justice in America. Okay, I believe when you hear Trump say "Make America Great Again," he's talking about when it was a great again before you had immigration, or before we know when it was just the white man fucking doing shit. Now white people have to compete with foreigners as well, not just black people, but they have to compete with foreigners now. And there are foreigners that are getting in saying that they're white when they're really not white, but they want to pass for white, you see? And that's angering white people, some white people. See, being white is an ideal. Okay, a white person can just be can be a person from anywhere that just decides to say that they're white. And then you have those that can't fit the physical bills, but their mentality is white. You see, that's why white supremacy can function without white people, because as long as you have people that are there to kiss the tails of whites, there'll be white supremacy. It's something. It's not even new. What they have done is they have put different faces to basically conduct themselves within white supremacy so that you can't see that it's white supremacy. So therefore, when we go to look for a job, doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's a foreigner, and the foreigner may not look white, they will practice white supremacy. And this is why you have immigrants that come into this country, start businesses, and don't have to hire Americans. So these Democratic lobbyists also have companies that pay illegal aliens to come and to work. So there are organizations and factors and entities that prosper from illegal immigration. And they're allowed to work in our country and break the laws. Okay, remember after 9/11, George Bush made it that you had to go through equip to get a job in America. Now, there's no way you're going to tell me that all these foreigners are using equip. That all these foreigners have been vetted, certified, and background checked by equip. And so this is why we have companies that are prospering from illegal immigration and undermining foundational black Americans. They have been allowed to undermine foundational black Americans for the last 30 to 50 years, basically. There is no litigation that you see right now that goes after companies for practicing this type of just practicing this behavior. We're getting illegals and having them work, and you don't have to pay illegals. You can pay illegals $5 an hour, where an American wants that $10 job. He knows this job is worth $10 an hour. No, quite frankly, $20 an hour, and he'll take that, and the immigrant will take that job for a quarter of that, just to exist, just so you can have a sum of immigrants, 4 to 5 immigrants that can live in the same spot that do not know each other, but understand that they need each other to survive. And in many cases, this is where you have sexual assaults, you have trafficking, and you have prostitution. The topic that you will see on the Democratic ticket is abortions. Abortions. This is what the Democrats want to talk to us about, abortions. So they stand on the premises that, women need abortions. This is what they have. Ask, and then they say this is for black women. I don't hear anybody saying this is for white women. Like, this is for white women. Abortions are for white women. It seems to be for black women. It seems to be in the Democratic Party that focuses on abortions. Was a time people had abortions and nobody knew about it. Abortions were something that were no-nos. It wasn't a big topic to talk about. In fact, it made the young female person with the abortion look appeared to be as if they were some type of hoes or sluts or whatever. So that wasn't a discussion that people had just out in the open about abortions. The Democratic Party has brought that abortion discussion to the forefront. I mean, it just somehow just came out the back, and now abortions. Think about it, abortions, right? And we're not talking about, they can make it very clear, and they can say, hey, we just want to make sure that we know women out here get proper treatment in case something goes bad, where there's been some type of sexual assault, or there has been something that's going to hurt the mother. No, you know what they do? They just make this whole thing about abortion. They don't say, yeah, this is about to save mothers that may be going through some. No, they just make it known. Abortion is an option for you. Okay, if I can understand the humanitarian thing where, abortion was there for the rights for the mothers that, for whatever reason that they may have it, man. But it's like they just want to put this out in the open and let you know that abortion is for you to get rid of that child that you may have or may not want. Like they don't use any kind of it's just straight up, yeah, abortion, yeah, and it seems to be geared towards black women and black families. So far, we can see that these are the options. Now, this is so far. I'm not finished this yet. This so far, we see the options that we have is illegal immigrations and abortions. So when you put this abortion thing out there, it's like a backup plan to say, well, I can go out and I can do all the things, be promiscuous, and do all the things that can get me hurt and that can get me killed, and I can fall back on an abortion. You know, we have gone far beyond the plan B thing where you may have done something you don't want to do. We're going to take the plan B and then we're going to move on with life. Oh no, we're going to give you the full out clinic. We're going to give you the full out everything. Why? Because this is a medical procedure that must obviously pay money. And it's subsidized by the government. And I think that's the thing where a lot of people, they didn't want to see their tax dollars going towards abortions. And I mean, quite frankly, I can honestly say I am not a female, but I can see as a man, in order to have a family, abortions cannot exist. It doesn't seem to be any litigation towards men deciding whether they want to have the child or not. It's just up to the woman to have the child or not. I guess which basically means it's up to them whether you owe child support or not. If you do or if you don't. But that's the issue with abortion, and I just find it to be overplayed. Like, to me, I understand being mature, and understanding what an abortion does, but it's just, just to talk about it, because when you talk about it, you can visualize what you're talking about, and it's just not something that I feel that it should be number one on the ticket. Number one on the ticket, your policy is abortion. And when you look at the commercials that you see Democrats create, they're not young women. They're not young women saying, I want an abortion. I need an abortion. Look at these women. They're like in their 50s and shit. Like, what are they doing having an abortion at 50, at 55, at 45? Just look at the age of the people that do the commercials and the visual optics that you get when you talk about abortions in America. I'm sorry, the next biggest thing on the ticket, it seems to be for the Democratic Party, is LGBTQ and the rights. That you have rights for gays or homosexuals before you have rights for regular people. I mean, homosexual and straight are basically subjected to individuals and shit. It's not even an identity. Yeah, it's just your status. I mean, basically, you are straight. You are homosexual. Now, somehow they have turned this into a political thing to be homosexual. I mean, just really dissect that whole subject. So if I is there supposed now are we going to come out with a party that's for just for straight men? Like I see, do you understand this? Like I mean, there are straight men out here that need jobs. There's straight black men that need jobs. You see what I'm saying? There's straight black men out here that need jobs and need all type of rights and things. But you're saying now, are you talking about white homosexuals? Are you talking about black homosexuals? Or are you just trying to say all the homosexuals? Like that's a group in itself. That's a voting block in itself. And I'm trying to understand what is its purpose. See, this is it's like follies and shit. And if you are a person that's being serenaded in this bullshit, like young people are serenaded into this. They don't really, they grow into this. But if you lived in the time before this, you're able to see like this is all BS. Like this is not a conversation we would be having 25, 30 years ago, where we're just talking about someone's sexual what they want to do sexually. Like, I mean, whether a person wants, you know, I mean, we're not even talking religiously right now. We just talking about, you know what I'm saying? If a person wants to be involved with the same sex and they want to be homosexual, like, why is that on TV? Why is that in well, it looks like it's on TV so we can see and they can sell the homosexual drug or whatever that drug is they're selling. So the only thing you can tell me if it's a drug that concerns homosexuality, it is to stop permitting, right? I mean, stop allowing the three letter word, to fester. I mean, I don't understand, bro. It's like, how is that a political component? Like, how is that part of the political process, whether or not you like men or not, or whether like not you like women or not? Why is that political? Why isn't that a personal choice? And if that's something you want to do, and that's based on your, whatever the hell it is that makes you want to do that, why do I have to read about it? Why do I have to hear about it? That's just like somebody saying, I like to take shits standing up and I have a right to. And I am tired of you making me feel bad about taking a shit standing up, whether or not the shit squeezed through my ass cheeks while I stand straight up. Like, do you understand how weird that sounds? So now we're talking about, and then I have to feel some kind of way whether or not I want to discuss the topic, whether it be about your sexuality. Man, when it dealt with homosexuality, at least in my community, I can't talk about anybody else's community, but in my community, in my neighborhood, we knew who homosexuals were. I grew up in the D.C. area. I was born in Washington D.C. and and pretty much I lived between D.C. and PG County, Maryland, and there's always been homosexuality around us. As you grow from a young person, you're not in tune to what homosexuality is. Someone's telling you what that is. So when you grow and you realize the difference, in many cases we didn't even recognize it. We didn't even have a discussion about it. We didn't go around talking about gay people. We didn't hunt them down and try to hurt them. It's like the gay people that were in our community. We knew who they were, but we weren't going to be gay. Like we just there was a separation line right there, and we knew that the gay people who they get and they would say hi. Because some of them were our family members. They could be your aunts, your uncles. They could be your cousins. You know what I'm saying? They could be all that. But guess what? There was still a line that divided. Hey, you do that? That's cool. I do this. All right. It wasn't a discussion. Nobody was going around with having, I guess, parties trying to find gay people and bash them. That's something that the white man did. He did that for whatever reason. Maybe he felt like, he brought this into the whole equation Just like he brings all these topics up in the whole equations. People are living life and trying to find the best options for life, but the devil always comes in and he brings up some shit or brings out something that erodes a topic. And so now today we're talking about these things, what gay people do and what straight people do. And why is that? Because in my world, in my life, every day, when I wake up and I go to work, even if I saw a gay person, hey, good morning, how you doing? Keep it moving. What else is there I'm supposed to do? I don't understand. I mean, it's not like I'm asking you. I want to see. Let me meet your husband. Let me meet your wife and shit. And without having these type of discussions, we're at work. You're doing what you're doing over there. I'm doing what I'm doing over here. The manager will decide whether or not we're productive or not. He'll make the determination, and that will eventually affect your pay. That's what work is. I am not going to work. Can you imagine? Okay, the only way you would know that someone was from an alternative lifestyle or they were gay or whatever is if they went to work and they put on something that would lead you to believe that. So just think, you're fighting for rights to be what? To be able to show everyone that homosexuality exists? Because this is a dangerous thing that's going on here. Because you're basically saying, okay, so heterosexual men that go to work, you're telling us on one thing, oh no, you can't, sexual assaults and sexual what you call that shit when you're at work? Oh yeah, harassment and you can't do all these things, and if you grab your crotch while you're at work, that's considered okay, get it. Boom. We abide by these rules because we realize we want to make a safe environment for whomever. But then I notice when it comes to homosexuality, they're allowed to show their sexuality in a homosexual way that a straight person may think that shit is disgusting. But there's no measures being taken to ensure that equal parties are safe in their feelings. And so this is how you see it being pushed on especially on black people in particular. Homosexuality is being pushed on because it's being hyped, it's being put in the music, it's being put in everything that you see. And now that you see that, when you look at the P. Diddy case, you start to see that the homosexuality has run rampant, and that's fine. It could be whatever the hell that he wants to be, but why does I have to hear about this every day about somebody's sexual preference? But we don't hear about it as far as what a man wants. We just hear about it as far as what a homosexual wants. And I think that is what you see the Democratic Party is about. As we get closer and closer to this election, if you've noticed in the last 6 months, you see more and more zesty men. Black men on top of that. Remember, because white supremacy doesn't want you to see their face; they want you to see your face. Okay, remember that's why they try to push Kamala on black people. They want you to see your face do the damage to you, just like you saw Obama. Your face is doing the damage to you, and they're not even us. These are immigrants. These are people with immigrant backgrounds that came to America that didn't even go to American public schools, didn't go to American high schools, didn't play American sport, and then they're just somehow interjecting into our political arenas, and now we're voting for a woman that's Indian that says that she's black. And then she says that she's doing something for black women, but she's an Indian woman with a white man and white children. So the optics, when a black person that looks at that, they're saying, I don't see myself there. It's just, where are you having this conversation that you had? You only use the black, you only use the black experience for your personal upbringing, which being going to a HBCU, joining the fraternity or sorority, a black fraternity or sorority, and then you leached on to downtown Willie Brown, who basically was a California politician, and you leached onto him, showing that you were his woman, and we all know what he was doing to you. We don't even have to really crack that egg. We can look and tell what you were to him so that you can get the proper position to get yourself in place. And then when you look at your track record, it shows that you weren't nice to black men and black women, right on all the way up to being a senator. And then when it's time for you to need the vote of the black people, see, it's time for you to need that vote. You're suddenly black. You fell for that trick. It's like you're a person that will do anything to get what you want, and you fell for that one though. You thought because I'm gonna tell you what you thought. You thought because, and this is Kamala. I'm telling you what Kamala Harris thought. She thought because she was light skinned. Remember, she partied with us because what did she do? She went to a HBCU. She joined the sorority. So she partied with black people, okay? And what did she learn? That black people cater to light-skinned women. That's why you have the AKAs, you see? And see, the AKAs, hey, you know. But the point I'm trying to say, she knew that black people would cater to her as a lighter complected person, and that under that disguise, she knew that she could do this. She knew she could make it through just being that light-skinned woman with the kind, soft voice, and she understood the difference between black women and other women, and she tried to do that to subdue black men until she could get in a position to where she can destroy us. Because everything that I have explained to you is no aid to a black family. Whether it be homosexuality, okay, whether it be immigration, okay, or whether it be abortions. None of those things, those three topics, allows a black family to exist. And this is why I keep saying the Democratic Party just tore apart the black family. This has been going on. Yes, I'm putting the blame at the Democratic Party because they have been the spokespersons for black people for the last 100 years. I know it's a little less than that, but you understand what I'm saying. Known to modern time, black people have been democratic. And if you look at the history of these politicians, they switch parties. So there is no party essentially that is for black people. The only thing that's for black people is group politics and group decisions. But we have to be on board and be on code. We have to get our women on code. We have to get our black men on code. And we have to perform. I just want to say to foundational black Americans that basically this political system was founded upon white supremacist concepts. It was designed not so black people. Remember, the slaves that became citizens could be a part of something. This political system was designed for them. This was designed for them to maneuver around, make laws and bylaws that will keep us out of the game. That's what this is all about. So as black Americans, we cannot be emotionally tied to a political party. We cannot be emotionally tied. So when I look at right now, when I look at the Republican Party, I have to say, I cannot feel emotional about being a favor to a political party. And when I say that, I mean that as far as what their policies are. So when you look at the Republicans at this point in time, remember, here are the things that appear that I see to benefit foundational black Americans. He's not for illegal immigration. So what that does is that pushes out illegal immigration, and it makes those jobs that they had want to pay the full rate. Who does that benefit? Black Americans because they're out there scrambling on the bottom. They may not be educated enough to get a particular job so they can feed their families. It doesn't even matter if you have the technical skills to get a better job, because whoever is offering the job, if they're not black, they can discriminate against you, and they can discriminate against you for a foreigner. Okay, right? These laws allow people to be sexist and to use favoritism and racism against black people. I know I worked in corporate for over 30 years, plus military background. So I've been able to see things. I've been in different spaces and corners where I've seen how things develop. And I understand how we're always pushed out of a situation. Okay? Because these other groups confide against us. They band together to wedge, and that's what we call the buffer class. You have the whites, then you have the buffer class, and then you have us. We can't directly blame the whites because the buffer class that's being monetized by the whites are in our way. And they're being offered our opportunities and our benefits that were meant for foundational black Americans. No, just because I'm saying these things that are evident, there are going to be people that are going to say that I am racist and that I am promoting separatism and I am doing, no, I'm talking about for my people. That's all, just like everyone else does. You can hear a Latino get on national television and say, this, we want benefits for Latinos. Okay, that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But as soon as you see a black person that tells you about how they got in that situation and what they need to get out of that situation, they're gonna tell you you're asking for a handout. You see, what they want to do is they want to pave a road over systematic racism. They want to pave a new pavement so that we don't see that, but it's going to keep breaking that surface. And you're never going to get away from this. America is going to continue to have problems, and eventually this America will fall apart. I'm just looking at what you see going on right now. And they're going to continue to demonize black people as long as we're asking for. We ain't asking for anything now, and that's the problem now. We're not asking for anything. We're telling you. We're telling you what's going on. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I just want to say that I appreciate you being here and listening to the things that I am saying, and I hope that as foundational black Americans, we can band together like the hand. We can band together like Voltron. You understand what I'm saying? Because we are a powerful people. We are a special people. We are a peculiar people. Okay? Ain't nobody like us. And we instantly love each other. Sometimes when we in passing, we know what's up. Hey, what's up? We nod our heads and we understand the struggle. My parents taught me, I teach mine, they will teach theirs. So it's not like we're just sitting out here and then we're just coming up with something to go against immigrants or go against. No, we're telling you this has been done systematically and it's continuing. For these same things, our forefathers were killed. We are in a different time now. You just got to keep it moving. Thank you and have a great night. This is Black Views, bringing you the Black News.